Be me. In the city. My family and I are staying with relatives I dislike. I'm solidly into the occult now, have been for years. Cousins are degenerates. Some of the nastiest people you would ever meet. Dad is sick with cancer. Grandma is too. I'm pulling out all the big guns occult-wise to help my dad first. Ending the ritual leaves me sweaty and tired like always. Dry off. Cousin runs inside. Screams for me to get downstairs and outside. I ask why. Says to just come. I roll my eyes figuring it'll be something stupid. When I leave to the front yard and make my way to the road inside Grandma's cul-de-sac, I see it. Bright yellow light in the sky. Hovering and moving around. It splits off into equal 7 pieces. They move in strange ways. We stare up amazed. Bring up thinking about getting my phone to grab this happening. My cousin's boyfriend says he's recording it. I choose to trust him, this is a mistake. The lights do something strange after their show. They begin to blink out of existence, one by one. The same way a light may do so if you were to flick it off with a switch. They are there, then they are gone. We spend a moment contemplating what happened. Ask cousin's boyfriend if I can see the video and if he can send it to me via text so I can save it too. Says he can't. Ask why. He says he used Snapchat to show his followers, but he can show me the snaps before they're gone. I was so fucking angry, and I never forgave him for that. I'm mostly over it now, but it's irritating that something bizarre happens and all he can think to do is show it off temporarily for fucking internet clout. My father's brain catches up with him in the moment. He tells everyone to get out of the tub immediately. He is terrified. We shamble to leave the hot tub, all 4 of us. But we make it out. We run to the house's back door. My mom has her phone in her hand now. For some reason we do not go all the way inside. I think we were curious as much as we were scared. The large thing stays over the tree line for a stretch of time that feels like ages. My mother records it on her iPhone 1. We watch as it hovers there. Eventually it moves, with the same bizarre speed of the triangles. It's like if something was moving fast through jelly. It moves past the tree line, we still see it for so long before it finally just disappears. When we settle, my mother shows off the video on her phone the same way a hunter does with a trophy kill. The video was caught, but you could barely see it. You could make out the shape, the noise, and the lights. Video becomes more and more corrupted. Over time, until eventually only the sound is there. Playing it makes the phone break down. Then the sound goes from the video. We wound up seeing this same type of thing years later after my dad died. Be me. Young adult. Exercising, doing my cardio on the second set of stairs. Mother is upstairs in her bedroom. Sibling is out with the dog. Pretty normal night for the most part. Sibling's been out for a long time though, but again, this is pretty normal. The dog enjoyed taking its sweet time shitting because it simply enjoyed being out at night. However, the noise starts. Faintly first. I don't recognize the noise, but I throw it away from my consciousness to focus on my exercise. Mother comments on it. Asks what it is. I say it's probably a helicopter and keep running up and down the flight of stairs. Comments that it's flying pretty low then. It gets louder. My mother knows that sound isn't a helicopter. It's just sleep paralysis. I've gotten it bad a lot. Got to the point I had to start wearing a sleep mask so I don't see shit when I wake up. Had a pretty terrifying sleep paralysis experience the other night. Be me in bed fast asleep. Comfy as fuck. All of a sudden can't move. WTF not again. All of a sudden feel immediate dread. Like someone is standing right next to my bed staring at me. Muster the strength to open my mouth to scream. Nothing comes out. Panic. All of a sudden frantic banging at my bedroom door, which is locked. Parents screaming to let me in. Scared of whatever is in my room. But even more afraid of opening the door, if I even could. Pray whatever is in my room leaves me alone, and whatever is outside my room doesn't get in. This goes on for agonizing minutes. Pass the fuck out. Wake up and repeat this process 5 times, even more terrified each time. Break of dawn. Finally wake the fuck up. Realize was sleeping on my back the whole night, that shit. Can cause sleep paralysis. Flip to my side and KO. Sleep peacefully until my alarm goes off. I've learned my lesson, to not sleep on my back and not stay up late on X. Well, at least I've achieved that first one so far. Be me. Teenager now. My sibling is old enough to be in the hot tub with me, and my parents now. We're sitting outside, the mountain air is cool. It feels good with the hot water, and the special salts we put into the water make it smell fragrant. Few bugs are out, but they hum pleasantly. We're just having a nice time tonight. Then the noises start. The noise is absurd. It's similar to what it might sound like if you were to take a hollow metal tube and to quickly move a secondary metal pole through it fast enough to make the air create a sound. Mom wonders what the noise is briefly before her face goes pale. As does my dad's. None of us really knew what to do in the moment. I wasn't even paying attention at first until someone said something that got me to look up. I don't think I knew how to interpret what I was seeing. There is a large shape in the sky from where the noise is coming from. It is black. It is shaped in a nonsensical way. It looks ovular, but it also does not. It is dazzled on its sides in small blue lights. It is large enough to be about half of our 3-story mansion. Underneath it are bright blue lights shining. The thing is flying low enough that it is nearly hitting the massive pine trees littering the woods. How it wasn't, I have no clue. I am Catholic, not very observant, and I am not a good person even by the standards of secular society, let alone religion. I do believe I was once seriously haunted. Be me, studying in a Muslim country with some of my classmates on an exchange semester. I filled out the housing form late and ended up having to live alone in a small apartment with 1 bedroom. Whole street is bad vibes, my neighbors are Ukrainian escorts, and every day I walk past people picking up or dropping off prostitutes. The weird thing about my room is that there's a full-sized mirror on the wall opposite my bed. When I sit in bed I can see my whole room and myself reflected in the mirror. No internet and I only brought 2 books, so one morning I was bored and just gazed into the mirror and got these trippy illusions. About 5 days after I did this the first time I realized I've been having sleep paralysis every night since. Sleep paralysis isn't unusual for me, but to have it night after night is. As soon as I realize this, it gets 10x worse. Every time I try to sleep I get horrible visions or tactile hallucinations. I feel people dragging me out of bed, strangling me, pinning me against the wall. In one of them, it feels like they're grabbing and squeezing my dick, and not in a good way. I start to sleep at my girlfriend's house to avoid it. She's Muslim and very observant, that part is relevant later. Doesn't help at all. After a while every time I wake up after sleep paralysis in my GF's apartment I hear her flatmate start screaming in her sleep in the next room. She starts getting night terrors at the same time I have sleep paralysis whenever I'm there. At this point I can't sleep unless the sun is up. It makes the sleep paralysis a bit nicer, but I still get it in the day. Missed about a month of classes due to this. One day I'm lying in my girlfriend's bed and I hear her whispering. Ask her what she's doing, she says she's praying for me. Can't. After that I don't have a single experience of sleep paralysis, pleasant or unpleasant. She's basically cured it with a single prayer. I didn't know this at the time, but there's a big taboo about sleeping with a mirror facing you gazing into mirrors. I now understand why. I can't explain it, I'm not massively superstitious and I know that this could all be a placebo, but the grip this sleep issue had on my life was intense. I thought I'd never have a peaceful night's sleep again. The weird thing is I've since heard other stories of the exact same thing. I saw a video of one girl, with tears in her eyes, warning people not to sleep with a mirror facing their bed. I asked her what her experience was, and she reported the exact same thing. Nightly sleep paralysis episodes with horrifying visions and sensations. She would even wake up with anomalous scratches and bruises. Seriously Anons, do not sleep with a mirror facing your bed, and especially do not gaze into said mirror for too long. Sincere advice from someone who has been there and done that. You will be punished far too much for such a small thing. Be me. Just left Astral Taco Bell. Feel a rumbling in my essence. Oh shit, it's coming out. JPG. SKRRRT real quick to the infinite bathroom dimension. Find an empty stall. Not hard, place seems totally empty. Sit on the throne and let loose with the tainted louche juice. Astral sweat beating on my forehead. With one final plop, drop a massive singularity into the bowl. Sweet relief. Look to my left with a sigh and a smile. Reach out, someone forgot to restock the toilet paper. Phew. Look around the stall in a fit of astral rage. There's a hand under the partition holding a roll. MFW. Anybody have any experience with hearing their name being called in the middle of the night? Be me. About 11 to 12 at the time. Early on in the day, out of nowhere I got an unexplainable, very unsettling feeling just sitting in my kitchen. Felt like I had to get out of my kitchen, run upstairs, fear goes away, brush it off. Later that night. Trying to fall asleep. Suddenly feel extremely fearful and my heart starts racing. Start hearing name being called from a distance. Hide under covers frightened and try to ignore it. Stops for a minute. Hear very loud in my ear my name being called, felt like it shook my soul. Scream, run into my parents' room. Sleep on their couch. Hear it happen again, freak out. Parents say they heard it too. Never heard the voice again, thank God. What could this have meant? Has anyone had something similar happen to them? It's an experience that still bothers me years later. Be me. Giant space worm is swallowing solar systems with its black hole suction mouth. I let it consume this entire solar system. I see nearby there is a cube of light. I zoom in and see it is near. I travel to it. It's bikini bottom and a cube roughly bigger than Earth. I meet friends there. I think I'm safe, but the space serpent snake worm thing finds us. It eats one part of the cube. MFW, I morph into a gigantic monster. I grab it and start pummeling it on the cube's surface. I turn it into mush. Dream ends. MFW. I saved cube bikini bottom. Be me 17 male. Have my first sleep paralysis. Laying on couch. Hear loud ear-piercing whispers. See 3 greenish-blue lights swirling counterclockwise. Getting really scared. Sweating uncontrollably. Finally wake up unable to go back to sleep and thinking if that was just real. Notice 4 scars on my back the next day going horizontal. They were a few inches long, but since then they have grown to about 6 inches. Never felt any pain. I was laying on my back when it happened, so nothing could have touched me. WTF.JPG